Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome to another edition of Vinyl Thoughts. Today I'm gonna do something a little bit different because I'm such a big vinyl collector and there are a few bands that I'm pretty crazy about trying to collect everything I can find. I thought maybe I'd show off a few of my collections. And so I thought I would start with one of my favorite bands of all time, Anthrax. And so today, because I got a lot of shit, I'm just going to be focusing on all of the 80s vinyl releases that I have from Anthrax. So let's get fucking started. First up, we've got the debut album, Fistful of Metal. This is a 1984 US pressing of this album, which is arguably the worst Anthrax album cover. I kind of like how ridiculous it is. But anyway, nothing special going on here. Let's just take a look at the record real quick. Look at that. Anthrax, Fistful of Metal. So yeah, I don't really need to go too much into discussing what these albums are. If you're really interested in this, then you probably know this is the only Anthrax album with Neil Turbin as the vocalist and Dan Lilker as the bass player. Yeah, it's got some cool songs on it, but overall, it's not one I go back and listen to a whole lot, but it's very important if you want to be a full-on collector of a particular band like I do. So yeah, Fistful of Metal, let's move on. All right, next up we have Armed and Dangerous, the first EP to include vocalist Joey Belladonna and bassist Frank Bello. And I always really loved the image of the band on this. I don't know. It seems like a very classic metal band kind of photo. And there's the back. This is a 1985 pressing, a US pressing of this. And once again, you just got this sort of basic Megaforce Records thing going on here. I'm sorry about all the reflections and shit. This is not, I wish I had a studio, but I don't. So this EP is pretty cool because it's got the song Raise Hell on it, and it's the only place you can get it, and Joey Belladonna sounds great on it, of course. And then it's got God Save the Queen cover of a Sex Pistols song, and then it's got Metal Thrashing Mad and Panic live. But really, I think when they call it live, I think they mean the band just played it all together in one take in the studio, because it's clearly not live. But anyway, it's still a fucking great EP and a great introduction to Joey Belladonna. Let's move on. Next up is the 1985 album, their second album, Spreading the Disease. This is a 1985 US pressing. I think most of these are US pressings. So yeah, this one is the first, what I consider the first full-on Anthrax album. I did a whole video on this album, so I don't really need to say much more. This one actually has cool little illustration on the inside and some lyrics. I think I showed this off in that video. You can go find it, and I'll talk a lot more about this album, but there you go. A little bit of a more interesting Megaforce Records label that has the Island logo on it as well. All right, dude. Yes, so Spreading the Disease. It's a fucking killer record. So let's move on. Next up, we have the Madhouse single. I totally love the cover of this single. I don't know. It just, I don't know. The vibe of those early Anthrax live shows is just fucking killer, off the wall. And so it's got Madhouse along with two live tracks, AIR and God Save the Queen. And I think on some versions of this, Madhouse is also live, but on this one, it's just the album version. And it's really weird how the second side begins where AIR, they've already played like one verse of the song and it just abruptly starts. And it's kind of raw. And some people may not like it, but I really like it because it really does sound like a raw, energetic band playing, back in '85. And so it's pretty cool. Let's look at the actual record here. So this one is full on Island Records logo there, which you can give or take that fucking logo because it's whatever. But yeah, Madhouse, 12-inch single, I guess. I think this is from the UK or Europe, somewhere not in the US. All right, moving on. So if you haven't figured it out, we're going in chronological order. Yes, folks. And next up, I'm the Man, the EP that they created around their hip-hop metal song that they put out. This one is a 1987 pressing, a US pressing. Let's look at the back. Great fucking classic photo of the band. I talked about this EP on a Vinyl Thoughts I did on my favorite EPs that I own. There you go. Once again, you know, that dark Megaforce / Island label thing going on. I honestly really love this EP just because it's like a really good example of the humor of Anthrax. And that's one of the things that's kept me a big fan of theirs over the years, is the fact that they're not only a fucking great thrash metal band, but also they're a lot of fun. And that's very important to a dude like me. So this one has, if you don't know, a couple different versions of I'm the Man, one edited, one not, one live, and then Cotton and Mosh live, I Am the Law live, and then a cover of Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. So it's, you know, it's a pretty fun little listen. I talked about it before. Let's move on. Now we're on to what some people would consider the quintessential Anthrax album, Among the Living, 1987. This is a 1987 US pressing of this album. And I fucking love that photo too. But this album has so many classic fucking songs. Caught in a Mosh, Among the Living, I Am the Law. What the fuck else is on there? I mean, fuck, I don't know. Everything. It's just such a fucking killer album. Imitation of Life. Is there a faster song than that? I don't really know if there is. So yeah, this one's got a cool inner. They got all their fans' faces covered up with the Not Man there, and then we got lyrics on this side. And let's take a look at the record. It's that same old Island and Megaforce logo. I don't know why I sang that. I promise I won't ever sing again. So yeah, Among the Living. A fucking thrash metal classic. Do you own it? Why not? Anyway, yeah, that's all I got to say. There's some other little shots at the bottom of the dudes. Okay, next one. Next up, the I Am the Law 12-inch maxi single. This is a European release. And first of all, I just love it because of the Judge Dredd artwork, which is fucking great. And it's got I Am the Law and I'm the Man, whichever one you want to be at that particular time. And then it's also got Buddy Love Bomb and Satan's Lounge Band, which some of you may have heard. It's kind of a funny, weird comedy, weird is really the only word I can think of, song. Yeah, but that's all that's on this. Let's take a look at the record here. So now we have the bluish Island logo. Oh wait, it's different on the other side. It's dark blue on the other side. They gave us a variety of colors. Anyway, so yeah, this is a pretty great addition to my collection. By the way, I'm the Man is just the I'm the Man version from the EP. So that's what happens when you become a collector of shit like this, is that you end up getting shit that just has stuff you already have. But do I give a shit? Absolutely not. Let's move on. Up next, Indians 12-inch maxi single. This is also a European release, and it's got, as it said, the song Indians on it. There's some great live shots of the guys on the back. And then Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, which is on I'm the Man, and then Taint, which, funny enough, is also on I'm the Man. It's just not listed because the song is literally like 5 seconds long. I believe it's an old SOD throwaway or something that they just threw on there. Just the band being goofballs again. So anyway, you got the great coin cover here. And then once again, we've got this sort of, palm tree island logo there. So, that's all we got there. So once again, I have all of the songs on here already, but I don't give a shit. It's cool to have this particular album cover. As you can see, I'm really big on collecting the 12 inches. I've got a few 7 inches, but to be fair, like if I can find a 12-inch version of a single that was released, that's the one I'm going to go for. So anyway, moving on. Next up, my favorite Anthrax album of all time, State of Euphoria. This is a 1988 US pressing of this album. I've done a video on this because it's one of my top 10 albums of all time. It's a fucking killer album. You have that great fucking image on the back by one of the artists from Mad Magazine, I believe. And then some great inner, another great classic picture of the band and lyrics, liner notes. Slightly different Megaforce label on this one with the Island logo at the bottom. So yeah, there you go. And while we're talking about State of Euphoria, I also have the 2018 reissue of State of Euphoria, which if you look, hold on, give me a second. I don't know why they went so much darker. It's like the yellow got brighter, but the images of the faces got darker. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not very big on reissues, as a lot of you know, but not only one of my favorite bands, but also one of my favorite albums. So of course I got it. But on top of that, let's look. Oh yeah, same shit on the back, by the way. So the cool thing about this is, sure, you have a recreation of the liner notes, but also you have colored vinyl. So this one is yellow. Cool little spinny thing going on there. And it's split onto 2 discs. This one just has some comments that I guess people on the internet's made about the album and other people and shit. And there's some old photos and stuff on the other side. And then this one is a red vinyl. So it's got the French version of Antisocial. It's got Friggin' and the Riggin', which is an old quote-unquote Sex Pistols song. Parasite, Le Sex Pipeline, those things are all on Attack of the Killer Bees and the nice fucking EP. I'm not going to try to say that backwards. We'll get to that. Then Antisocial live at Hammersmith Odeon, which actually includes the vocalist that originally sang on the song Antisocial, like the original version. But all those things are also on other shit that I own. But if you're somebody that just is a collector, this is kind of cool just to get the colored vinyl, a little bit of extra picks. But for the most part, if I'm going to listen to this album, I'm going to listen to the old school version. So yeah, moving on. I feel like I might be going very fast, and I'm sorry about that, but I just don't want to keep you guys here all day. You see why I'm doing this in 2 parts? So next up is the Make Me Laugh single, 12-inch maxi single, I guess they call them on all of them. But this one is a picture disc. So that's pretty fucking great. You know, if you want a spinning mouth on your turntable, there you go, you got one. And then on this one, you've got Antisocial, and then you got Friggin' and the Riggin', like I talked about before, and of course the Antisocial Live, which is the exact same thing that I was just talking about on the State of Euphoria reissue. Only you get it on this nice, cool picture disc, which is a UK release, I believe. Up next is kind of an interesting release. Statements of Euphoria. So this is an interview record that was released by Island Records that I believe the band did the interview right before they went on tour for State of Euphoria. And if you look, you know, side A with questions, side B without questions, which really doesn't, I guess if you're a radio DJ and you're wanting to pretend like you're doing it, I should have done that. I should have pretended like I went back in time and I interviewed 1988 Anthrax. I might do that one day. Anyway, so yeah, there you go, Megaforce, Island Records. And it's actually a pretty entertaining interview, mostly because the dudes are all very funny. So pretty much every question that gets asked, first you get a joke answer, and then you get the real answer. So kind of cool. Anyway, so that's Statements of Euphoria from 1988. Moving on. All right, last but not least, the last Anthrax release from the 80s. The EP, okay, Pinnekafessin? It's nice fucking EP backwards. So this one, it's got a lot of shit that ended up being on Attack of the Killer Bees. It's also just got Now It's Dark and Antisocial from the album. Once again, Friggin' and the Riggin', Parasite, Sex, Pipeline, all cover songs. Some great live shots of the dudes there. And I believe that this also, in different versions, was the Antisocial single This one just has more shit going on, and it's same album cover and everything. So let's take a look at this one. Oh, it looks like we might have the dual color island logos on this one. So we got some light blue action and some dark blue action. Pretty cool. All right, so that is the last of my 80s Anthrax collection. Let me know what you thought. Did you enjoy this? There's only a few other bands that I have a lot of shit to show, so would you like me to do other bands? Obviously, I'm going to do part 2 a few weeks from now. You're going to have to wait. And that's when we'll tackle 90s and beyond Anthrax. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this sort of different version of Vinyl Thoughts. Please put all your comments and your thoughts down below, and please subscribe, and I will see you guys again very soon.